And just like that, we are live across the world. Not every nook and cranny, but everybody from Granny to someone named Lanny. We could have a Lanny. It's not that popular of a name, but could be, could be. Welcome to Worldwide Ramblings for the 2nd of April, 2025. I'm Jack, and here we go with another edition as people begin to join our live stream. The title of our topic tonight, we can talk about various topics, including yours. Was Lisa Marie told her father, Elvis, had died only to learn later that he was alive? That's what we'll delve into. And I'm not going to wait too long because I know the people that tune in just for content that catch the title don't want me waiting 12 minutes to get into it. So I'll do it. And then we'll go back. So I won't be looking at the stream for a little bit, but I will say hello and good evening to Miles Wright. Hi, Jack and everyone. Chris Starry, glad you're back. I think you missed Saturday night. We were concerned about you. Be sure to give us a health update. If you could wait about 10 or 15 minutes for that, let other people come on and I'll be able to see it because I'll be looking at the screen. Mr. Slim Jiggy is here. Hey, Marty Greco, who was with us for our promo that we did live a few hours ago, is back. Hi, Marty. Hey, Jack and everyone. Karen Phillips, hello. And Sabrina D, a different Sabrina. We have like three. So hi, Selena D. Hello from Australia. Yes, we seem to do pretty well in Australia, Sabrina. I would say more than half a dozen, more than half a dozen. That's not too bad. That's what I know of. You know, there are people I will never know that they're here because their mum, M-U-M, mum, mums. Those are the things we buy every, I don't know, September to throw in the backwoods a few months later. This is an exercise in, temporary beauty, but it ends up in being an expensive habit because it gets too cold and the mums that are hardy can only take so much. So there's a little game where we bring them in for a while before we throw them in the woods. Gail George, hi. D.C. Watson is here. Well, that's a cool name, D.C. Watson. I wonder if he's from Washington, D.C. Good evening, Jack. Yeah, okay. You want to be called Doc? I like that. Doc is cool. I always think of those old Westerns, there was always somebody named Doc, and he was usually, of course, the doctor. I'm thinking of Gunsmoke and perhaps Bonanza, but especially Gunsmoke. And Gail George is here as well. So let's get the content, and then I'll look back here. But I don't want to disappoint the people that are not really part of our family, but they saw the title and they're kind of curious. People were referring me to page 63 of the book that I've had for quite a while, the Lisa Marie Riley Keough book, of course. From Here to the Great Unknown. That's a really good title when you think about it, because we may think we know exactly what's in store and how it's going to work out, but, we can only know so much, and we were never meant to know it all. Adam and Eve wanted to know it all, and look what happened with that decision. So, this is a news story, so I guess I get to read an excerpt because we're really you can call it an entertainment news story if you want. After my dad died, my world totally changed. Now, remember, Lisa Marie, from her writings that they have, but also Riley Keough is involved. She put this whole thing together after her mom's death. Sometimes we're hearing from Riley, and sometimes we're hearing from her mom, Lisa Marie. Beyond my grandparents, I stayed in touch with Patsy and one of two people from the Memphis Mafia like Jerry Schilling. The rest kind of faded away. My mom stayed in Memphis until everything was finalized, and in October, my dad was moved from Forest Hill Cemetery. Just don't think he'd ever be put there. Forest Hill Cemetery to the backyard of Graceland next to his mother. That was the first time I really felt the loss, obviously, from my dad passing away. But more than anything, I felt I was stuck with this woman. Does she mean her mom? I'm a little confused there. It was a 1-2 punch. He's dead, and now I'm stuck with her. My mom took me to Europe with her sister, Rome. I'm sorry, my mom took me to Europe with her sister, Rome, France, and London. She tried to keep me really busy. They took me to Buckingham Palace. The press was going crazy. They kept finding us wherever we were. But at the palace, it was a quiet day. I watched the changing of the guard. I was annoyed, I thought. What are we doing out here? Why aren't we going in? Why are we standing out here trying to get in when people can just come into Graceland? I didn't understand the difference between Buckingham Palace and Graceland. One night in France, I told my mom I was a reincarnated Marie Antoinette, that I had to go to Versailles. Forgive me if the pronunciation is incorrect. So she took me there, and she took me there. Marie Antoinette, you got to go, right? You got to check that. You got to check that out. They were going to do whatever they needed to do to console her. She took me there, and I was walking around saying, yeah, I recognize this. I recognize that. Before Europe, I had been sent off for 6 weeks. This is interesting the way this is written, uh, that the camp experience didn't come first. Before Europe, I had been sent off for 6 weeks to Rancho Oso, a summer camp in the mountains north of Santa Barbara. Can you imagine how traumatic that camp experience would have been? I mean, you're dealing with the death of your father, and you're sent off to summer camp with kids that you probably wouldn't want to interact with. Um, you're sent off, in a sense, by yourself. Although I can't believe there wouldn't be somebody assigned or more than one person assigned to make sure Lisa Marie was okay, that they wouldn't just leave it for low paid staff in Santa Barbara. At camp, there was a horse I loved, and I rode it a lot. That was healing. Then I'd be in the swimming pool having fun with all the kids. Oh, eventually the kid in you is going to take over. Then instantly not feel right. I would get distracted for a minute and then go, oh my God, my dad died. Once I was lying in the sun and an Elvis song came on the radio, and I just lay there crying for an hour. That's all we'll read at this time. And again, we're just reading an excerpt for news purposes because we're trying to take in this enormous story that we've never really dealt with. And there'll be a subsequent video. Um, but the new source that I have and you have to check out that video if you haven't already. Um, Shocking new Elvis info. Um, we broke some new ground there, and more people need to see it. We got to get that going. again because it's very interesting information, new information that, as far as I know, has never been revealed before. And with any source, I may have a good feeling about the source, but I'm not gifted with ESP, or I don't even have ESPN. Well, maybe I do, but why would I watch it? So, uh, but I have certainly a good feeling about the source, so that helps me tremendously when I feel the source has integrity. You can always tell a poser. You can always tell a poser. So, if we explain the story. I'm not going to repeat it here. I'd rather you see the video if you haven't. But when we see that the people helping uh, Elvis uh, fake his death, and this is all possibilities. I speak of possibilities. We could be wrong about the whole thing. The people helping Elvis, according to this source, was not the government at all. He was not in the witness protection program. He did not go to Argentina, but eventually would go to France. And there's a lot of French connection here. There's a lot of French connection and more that I haven't told you yet. But it seems very, very possible. It lines up, so to speak. So you have to think about um, what this would be like for poor little Lisa Marie Presley, especially if we are right in our conclusions that her father had not passed away, because at some point she's going to have to be told that her father is still alive. And what are her feelings going to be then? Rage would be one of them, I imagine, especially as she got older. She would chew on it, she would chew on it, and she would resent that. And as we read in this book, From Here to the Great Unknown, from Lisa Marie Presley, Riley Keough, get a copy if you haven't got one already. She claims, and I have no reason to doubt, that she was abused by one of Priscilla's boyfriends, one that she was with for quite some time. And when she brought this to the attention of Priscilla Presley, um, she marched right out of the room and confronted her boyfriend, and then came back into the room with her boyfriend and said, uh, he would like to apologize to you. But the abuse only continued for 3, 4 years. As I say, I believe firmly that if Elvis Presley had been told that, Daddy, this guy has been abusing me, this guy would have found himself in a wood chipper. There's a difference between murder and justifiable killing. There's plenty of killing in the Bible, plenty of killing. It would be uh, a lot different than, say, you want your husband's money, so you poison him, that kind of thing. Yeah, that's murder. But this is just such an amazing story with so many different. How could Lisa Marie not be emotionally scarred for life, especially when the time came, whenever that time was, that she was told, "Well, your father is alive, and he's very much eager to be in your life again." There's no story quite like this, is there? There's no story quite like this. So we'll do more about this as we go on. Your comments and questions are welcome, and we got more stuff to share about Graceland and what have you. That'll probably be a separate video too, but I'll give you the sneak preview because you are the family, and so we don't want to leave you in the dark. Um, but thank you. Thank you for being with us. We have 74 watching right now, 23. What are your comments and questions and things like that? Um, I'm going back on the thread here to see who we missed saying hello to. Good afternoon, Jack. I bet Chi Chi, you are in a nice warm environment, aren't you? Aren't you? You know what it is here? 40, but there's a wind chill making it feel more like 32. Oh, boy, I'll tell you. I haven't really checked. Is tomorrow going to be a warmer day? I know we've got a few warm days, but I'm looking for 70s and 50s at night, and it's coming, but it's it's a slow drip. It's a slow drip. It really, really is. Happy Wednesday, everyone, says Kim Lackey, who is not a lackey. She is not someone who, just grabs onto someone's shirt collar. She's a woman of energy who's made millions of dollars her own self. You don't mind that characterization, do you, Kim? Um, so welcome, Brenda. Yes, another Brenda. Bernice Gordon. Hello, Jack. I'm watching from Dalton, Georgia. I've heard of Dalton, Georgia, but I've never been. I haven't been to too many places in Georgia. As I say, sometime Karen's daughter and grandchildren are in the Stone Mountain area. But I really haven't, I'd love to go to Tybee Island, for example. Never have. I hear about it. Joanne Nitzy is here. Hello, Jack and y'all. Brenda is typing away at lightning speed. Jackie Organ is talking to Brenda. This is a phenomenon that has been with us for a while. Hi, Joan. Well, yes, where's Joan now? I lost her in the mix. Oh, yeah, there you are, Joan. I already said hello to you. Stephen Spielich is with us. And it's just amazing. DC Watson, I think you said you wanted to be called Doc Watson, says, I like those hmms because they are usually followed by something either fascinating or, wild, to be honest with you. Why would Priscilla be in France? Yeah, why was France chosen? Was that where Elvis Presley went to heal? Again, watch that video, New Elvis Info. Ted is here? Ted Richards, is he? Or are you just asking for him to identify himself with name, rank, and, of course, the number of his debit card? Most of the names I'm seeing here are regulars with a few new ones. Hello, new people. Pam Donnelly, one of our loyal family members. Hi, Jack. We have storms and tornadoes coming. Yes. Now, when we did our promo, and we did the promo live, Jill was here. Jill, and she is in Oklahoma and was saying that Oklahoma could face some tornadoes. So I understand that these tornadoes are not just confined to one state, right? Tell me about it. Tell me about your experience. Georgia Peach. Jack, Dalton is not far from me in Woodstock. Well, we have a Woodstock too, but Woodstock is not where Woodstock was held here in New York. No, it was held in Bethel, New York, not anywhere near Woodstock. Woodstock was almost held 3 miles down the road from me in Scotchtown, New York, town of Wallkill. But the local government there, I mean, there's houses there now, and there's even a street in this development called Woodstock Lane, or I think it's Woodstock Lane. But they were fighting about everything, and I guess they did have some legitimate concerns when you consider the amount of people that came and the chaos that ensued. People just parking on the street 20 miles away or 10 miles away and walking in. So so it never happened. And then it moved up. Eventually it got to Yasgur's farm in Bethel, New York, which you can see. Now, part of it burned down a year or two ago. Yasgur died too. but you can see it when you're at Bethel Woods, where they have the concerts now. You can see the original Woodstock site by looking up on the hill, and you see where it was, and you used to see. I don't know how much of that barn, or there were more than one barn there is left, but that's the original site right there. And they have a Woodstock museum. They have, a big museum, and you can buy all kinds of cool stuff and all the colorful shirts, the tie-dyed shirts, and they have, memorabilia that's all chained up or behind cases and what have you. So it's really something to see, and some great acts come to Bethel Woods every year. The only one that's caught my attention so far that I might want to see would be Weird Al Yankovic. I've seen Weird Al a few times, and I always get a kick out of him. So, Nicole Wick, you make me think of Phyllis Wick from Dark Shadows. I won't go into a big Dark Shadows rap, the original series, but it just made me think of Phyllis Wick, who was a very brief character on Dark Shadows, but a very important one. Nikki from Philly checking in. Well, that's cool. That's cool. Did you bring the cheesesteaks? I'd like to have a cheesesteak, but this is not the time to indulge. No, I'm waiting till Saturday when we are driven up to Mohegan Sun by Polka Sean and Polka Norma to see 18-time Grammy winner Jimmy Sturr and the Polka Family, and trying to be a good boy till then. Jack, can I buy you a coffee? Well, I'm interested in that new mushroom coffee that Neil Patrick Harris is selling there on the telly, and it's God. I mean, this thing is just taken off. Rise Coffee, well, RYZE, right? I mean, oh, it's supposed to be so beneficial for you. And I don't drink coffee. I don't like the taste of coffee. But last week, well, I guess it was last weekend, I Karen had some coffee left over from her morning coffee, so I put some in a cup, about a quarter way full, and then I put a bunch of cream in there and Splenda to make this palatable because I've had this desire to drink coffee, even though I've never liked it. I'll spit out a coffee candy quickly. So you could buy me a chai tea. That would be good. A chai hot tea. Um, but there's supposed to be so many benefits, 6 different kinds of mushrooms in this Rise coffee, but they don't mention that there's coffee beans in there, but then they say it tastes like coffee, which is not a good thing for me. But boy, there's so many benefits from these mushrooms and what have you. Someone will say, "Oh, well, there's another way to have all that. There's another way to have all that. You don't have to have it in a coffee form." I imagine. Hey, folks, says Stephen, don't forget to hit the like button, please, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Yes, we have 88 watching and 35 likes. Let's get some more likes in there because that helps. That helps. That helps other people see what we're doing. And then hit the notification bell. Hit the notification bell. So, Christari. Neo, wish I could meet Weird Al. Yeah, I've never met him. I've seen him in concert several times. Once in Poughkeepsie. Where was the other time? I have no idea. No idea. I think I've seen him twice, so I don't know. Chilling in Canada. Oh, our 51st state. Hi, Brenda. I'm just joking. So how are you feeling, Christari? You may have said it and I missed it, but Miles says he's in Ringgold, Georgia. Huh. So what's the closest big city to Ringgold, Georgia, Miles, right? And what do you do there? Always like to know, have an idea. Sometimes you just see a name and you never learn too much about the person. Gotta check with Richard to make sure he's okay, but I think he posted on TikTok. He's into the TikTok. Mr. Slim Jiggy says, "Be safe, everyone." Yes, if you're in the path, you you got to have a plan. The thing about tornadoes is they happen suddenly where, that, comedian whose name I'm forgetting right now, he passed away, heavy-set Southern gentleman says, "Now with tornadoes, they just are spontaneous. They just appear. Very little notice at all. Very little notice. But with hurricanes, it's different. The weatherman will say, now, next Thursday, which is like 5 days away, next Thursday around 4 p.m., a potentially Cat 3 hurricane is coming into your area. Is coming into your area. And they'll just sit there and wait for it. They'll just sit there and wait for it. Oh man, there's always going to be that people that say, we're going to ride it out. We're going to ride it out. And we have thousands of people that have said that and died in a hurricane. That's so sad. That's so sad. So you can buy me a hot chai tea, chi. It's getting complicated here. Here in town, right down the road from ShopRite and Mister Washy Washy Laundry that will be at tomorrow. It's Thursday tomorrow, right? Yeah, is a place called Kung Fu Tea. And I've mentioned it before. They have all these wonderful drinks in there. You can get a mango splash, delicious cold, ice cold mango drink. You can get Thai milk. I'm not too thrilled on that, but the chai milk drink that they have, they'll say, "Do you want bubbles?" No, I don't want bubbles. Bubbles means less liquid. I don't want less liquid, and your bubbles are like big tapioca things. I don't get bubbles, but it's delicious. And I come in now and she looks at me and says, chai tea, the usual. She knows me. She knows me. And I thought when they opened, I thought, gee, they just basically serve drinks. I think they have some kind of dessert now. And they did have some kind of chicken for a while, but I never saw anybody get it. It's always drinks. And I thought, oh, they're not going to just selling drinks. Oh my God, they line up people. They just one after another. They come in there. And even in January, and they do have hot drinks as well. They do have hot drinks as well, and they sell more of those in the wintertime. It's a gold mine. It's a gold mine, Kung Fu Tea in the town of Walk Hill, New York. So if I miss your comment, I'm just, trying to keep up. Indiana is getting it too, says Justin Battinger. Um, I wonder what parts of Indiana will be affected. And of course, it's hard to predict, isn't it? Um, was there a Scientology center in Paris at the time? Ah, there's another complicated part of the story, right? Are you talking about for Priscilla? There's a gentleman who I just found. You guys may have seen him already. I know that I always look in the comments to see if there's any of my people. And there was one, Sandra Weber. Sandra Weber was checking in. That was the only one. But this guy was talking about a bunch of things, but he mentioned that, they only rent. They only rent Graceland. It doesn't belong to Riley. They only rent it. Somebody sent him a book. It says that. People send you all kinds of books. There's dozens and dozens of books. So don't ever take their word for it. Don't ever take their word for it. No, Graceland is not only being rented by Riley Keough. She is the sole owner and trustee of the estate, inheriting it from her mother, Lisa Marie Presley, and plans to continue running it as a family home and tourist attraction. There's more to say on that, but the Elvis Presley Enterprises didn't include Graceland, according to the sources that I have. It did not include Graceland. That was kept separate, was not offered as part of the deal, along with the Elvis Presley name and everything else. Graceland was out of that deal. So the gentleman, who I can't even remember his name at the moment, but he says he does 2-3 broadcasts a day sometimes, but he's very busy and doesn't have the time, and people send him a whole bunch of stuff. He says that as truth that Graceland is only being rented, and that's not what I have from my sources. That's not what I have from my sources. So there is that. Does Graceland have a girlfriend experience now? No, hey, that could be popular. You didn't see that naughty show. What was it on Stars, Neo? Stars? I think it was Stars. I mean, if I had watched it, I would have seen it on Stars, right? I had no idea who this actress was. I swear to you, I didn't know too much later that she was the granddaughter of Elvis Presley, and I had no idea what the girlfriend experience meant either. I just thought, maybe it's a nice service for, some, like they have a wonderful thing now, but it's meant as a prelude to a dating service. Um, uh, it's just lunch. Take all the pressure off, and you meet this person online, and you're going to meet at a restaurant. It's just lunch. Not that some bad thing couldn't happen from that if you find yourself being stalked or something. But it's just lunch means we're not meeting. Don't have any expectations in your head. We're going to have lunch, and if you know, really probably the female wants it to continue from there, she'll let you know, but it's just lunch. So I thought the girlfriend experience could be simply that, it's just somebody that would like to not show up at the family events all alone, not go to the movies alone, not go to dinner alone, not, movies and plays or whatever. They want to have someone. I know I'm describing at this point an escort, aren't I? But it doesn't have to be, because we all know escort services tend to maybe have other services, and there's how do you put this? A separate rate chart. A separate rate chart. Am I gonna keep digging this hole, and then am I gonna jump in it? I don't know. But that's a funny line. I like that. No, but you can be a Presley for a day, Neo. You can be a Presley for a day. It's going to cost you near $1,000, if not more now. But you and someone else, that's 1,000 apiece, by the way, can be a Presley for a day, and there's only 8 people that can do it in any given day. Well, look at you, Chi Chi, being all nice, hitting the thanks button in a beautiful yellow. Thank you, Chi Chi. I appreciate that. $10. We're starting off the month of April now. I'm not going to go into a long rap. Don't worry. We did good for March. When you add it all up, there are certain people here or may not be here right now that, between Cash App, I do have people to thank, but I'm not going to go into a long rap now and, do that. But when you add it all up for March, I'm it was more encouraging certainly than February, and I thank everybody from the bottom of my heart, whether it was 99 cents, $5, or more. And I'll talk a little bit more about that later, but not now. But I do want to say thank you, Chi Chi. Let me see. Echegoyen. I never tried that before, did I? Echegoyen? Is that right? Echegoyen. I like that name. Hearts Wild is here. I always think she's wild, and I want to know all about it. Well, I mean, I do. Just like, once I watched episode 1 of the Girlfriend Experience, I pretty much was sure I was going to watch all 10. Karen was right there with me. She was right there with me. Neither one of us knew anything about Riley at that point. I'm sorry we didn't, but she was wonderful in it in many ways. David Culp. Now, what was the actor's name? Robert Culp. Yeah, Robert Culp. Any relation? I have to think about what you're reacting to. I'm not always sure. Nicole Wick, not Phyllis Wick. I think I'm going to start calling you that. More safe, Culp. What's more safe? Blow up dolls. Oh, okay. Well, you're making me think of what was that show on HBO? Oh, yeah, Real Rex or something it was called. Real Rex. And, if you have a few $1,000s, let's just put it this way. I'm right on the edge here. I don't want to be on the edge because someone will say, Jack, Jack, Jack. Um, they are much better quality than they used to be, much better quality if you want to spend thousands. We're back to spending thousands again. It's all about the money tonight. I mean, your love gives me such a thrill, but your love won't pay my bills. I need some cash. I need some cash, darling. Oh, darling, 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 darling. So, Jay Pogara. Hi, Jack, and hugs. Well, hugs back. I don't know if you're a male or a female, Pogara, but hugs back. Faith Lloyd is here. I don't know if I acknowledge that. Sandra Fair, she always is too, saying hi to Brenda, and she is the millionth person to do that. Brenda, you need to start a fan club. Yes, you do. Yes, that's right. See, she even knows, Brenda even knows I'm not going to be on Saturday. I'm going to be on Sunday at 9 p.m. East Coast time, United States of America. 50 states, soon to add Canada and Greenland. Hey, is there anybody watching from Greenland? I'd love to talk to you and get your views. Keep it, keep it civil. Keep it civil and don't become Sybil. Don't become Sybil. We've had a couple of Sybils here. I won't say who they are. Multi-personalities, that kind of thing. Sally Field played Sybil, and she's such a wonderful actress, so she could do just about anything. But politically, our politics are in the toilet. Doesn't surprise me. Yeah, that's right. Sunday at 9 o'clock, because Saturday I'll be up in Wilkes-Barre. Sean and Norma and Karen trying to see if I can't handcuff Karen to the banquet table so she doesn't suddenly disappear into the casino. We have no money, so it's it's not it's not you have to pay to play. Have you ever heard that? You have to pay to play, Neo. So I don't know about that girlfriend experience, but I think it'd be costly. It'd be extremely costly, and it wouldn't be Riley, of course. It would be somebody else. But there's just gorgeous women everywhere. This is what men have to deal with. I mean, I go into the urologist, Dr. Schwab. He's a real cool guy. I've been going to him for years. He used to be in a nice old house by the bowling alley in the city, but now he's out by the fairgrounds at the racetrack there, which they use from time to time. They don't have the stock car races all the time. And so I went in 3 o'clock, to pay to be violated. He kind of alternates between the special blood test. I have had actual procedure where they, took what do you call those things? Polyps, and what have you. I've always been good. My number's never low. It's like 5. But that I go there first to see him, and then he says, stop down at the blood lab and what have you in the computer, and they'll take your PSA blood work, But before that, he violated me. He did not buy me a drink first. He did not give me flowers. I said, you don't give me flowers. You don't sing me love songs. It's just like all of a sudden I'm in San Francisco here. What the heck is going on? Anyway, you got to keep, you don't want to get prostate cancer. They say eventually every man will get it if he lives long enough. But I haven't heard that Dick Van Dyke ever had it. I don't know. I don't know that William Shatner's ever had it. I don't know. So I'm saying a lot of crazy things here today, which is proof I should have never smoked a J before the broadcast, David Culp, son of Robert Culp. I want it to be. I want you to say it. That's right. He was my dad. I got to try to remember what I used to enjoy Robert Culp in, and I can't think of it right now. But yeah, here's Hearts Wild with the abbreviations that I got to remember what they are, and it's all Marianne Rossi, Rescue Me by Fontella Bass. I know you know that song, Marianne Rossi, not Donna Rossi. I think I called you Donna on the promo today. I think it was today. I said Donna. I caught that when I watched the replay because I'm one of my favorite programmers. Let's see here. No, I often cringe, to tell you the truth. Oh, I said that. That's wrong. I didn't mean to say that. What was the latest thing I said that made no sense? It's a plethora, I'm sure. Um, Shelley 3 is kind of like a Brenda. If you're meeting her for the first time, she's very enthusiastic and she's very popular. And she's from Canada. And she is the President Trump's campaign. We could say now the presidential chairman in Canada for President Trump. You know, she's his representative. Oh, Tess, what's going on? I don't know. Um, where does Brenda live? She lives in a room with a lot of padding. A lot of padding. Now, you know I'm kidding, Brenda. That's right. Detroit, Motor City, Motown. Everybody say Motown. Thank you, Chi Chi. Anyway, I didn't catch that, but it's okay. Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, then I wouldn't have said it if you weren't here. So it might have been another show. I don't know. Huh. Overbuilt automotive. He's got way too much under the hood. Um, I never know when someone has come and gone. You know, I know that Nicole Wick, not Phyllis Wick, is still here. Yeah, I know, Nicole. I have a habit. See, the reason I have this inclination, haven't said that word ever on Worldwide Ramblings, is because of all my years as a top 40 or oldies disc jockey on various radio stations. Not when I was on the Christian station for 11 years. No, not then. But the other stations that I was on, you know, I was supposed to be funny. The other jocks were being a little edgy, you know. So I had to prove that I could be funny and witty, and so that's where that comes from, you know. Um, trying to think of a song that I had a. Um, it's that song from Simon and Garfunkel, Cecilia, and I only got a few seconds to get this in. Because Cecilia is just, she's a floozy. This Cecilia, as they describe her in the song, said I got a few seconds. Oh, Cecilia, I get up to get a drink of water. I come back and the UPS man is in the bed. And then they start singing. I got no time for anything else, no time for anything else. And I remember Ken Winheim, who I used to work with right down the road here, who is now working with me in Sullivan County, but he was on the competing FM station on the floor, both owned by obviously the same people. He was on the current hit station and I was on the oldie station, and he was looking for something in our studio, and he thought that was very funny that I would say that. And I was happy that I could impress Kenny, who used to be my boss at the Middletown station for a while. Ken Winheim made a ton of money being a club jock, a lot more than he ever made in radio, because when he started being a club jock during the 70s and 80s, you could make $3,500, $5,000 for a wedding. You could. It got lower because what happened is they started to come out with this DJ in a box thing that the kids would buy, for $600-$700, and then they'd go to someone and say, "Oh, don't pay those high prices. I'll do your wedding for 500. I'll do your wedding for 500. You don't have to pay 3,500." Well, you get what you pay for. You get Ken Winheim, and you get a great entertainer who knows the music and knows how to mix it and has everything, et cetera, light show, everything. You get the kid who bought DJ in a box, and he's going to suck. He's going to suck, and that's what you deserve. So your wedding was ruined because you became a cheapskate. But that's one of those things that paid far more in the 70s and 80s than they did in the year 2005. Lottie, Thank you so much hitting the thanks button for $10. I appreciate that a whole lot. There's a whole lot of shaking going on. I thank you, Lottie, for hitting the thanks button for $10, as did Chi Chi. Appreciate it. You'll find the thanks button at the bottom of the screen. Another way is Cash App. And I'm going to thank some people later who hit Cash App from the month of March, many as I can find on my screen. But um, the handle, lowercase letters on Cash App for any amount is Media Guy 56, MEDIAGUY 56, Media Guy 56, as we now start to work on, well, really the month of May. Here in April, we work on the month of May. We're always a month behind. But in terms of April, uh, uh, it turned out pretty good. Turned out pretty good, and I was relieved and grateful. Okay, here's DC Watson commenting. Doc, I believe he wants us to call him, saw the new preview on the Elvis hologram show on YouTube. I must have missed the first part of what you said. The new preview. I can't catch it all in real time. That's the problem. Um, so the new preview on the Elvis hologram show on YouTube. I know that yeah, they've been doing for years. I guess they're still doing it. Where for a while they had the Jordanaires were singing on the stage, and some of the original Elvis musicians, and Elvis was on the screen, and you'd go and you'd see. That's how you would see Elvis perform. You know, they'd use old footage and what have you. That was pretty popular for a while. I'm sure it played in Las Vegas. My YouTube app keeps crashing, huh? I think we're okay here. I haven't had any problems. When we crash, it's most likely to be a Saturday night. By the way, I didn't get the UFO video up yet because Andy had major problems with his computer. It crashed, and he was trying to resurrect it, so he wasn't really available to me. But the next day or two, you'll see the UFO video, which I shot from that window right back there. They put on a show when they saw that camera. And I'm not kidding you. I'm not kidding you. And I've seen plenty of drones. No, not Junior's drones that he keeps close, but big drones. They're back in New York. I don't know if they've left. I haven't checked the last day or two. But you also can go out at night as late as 1 o'clock in the morning, and you hear, and there's a video that's up on YouTube. Maybe you can find it. I should have wrote it down. I apologize. Where the sky is lightning in parts of New York. And what does this mean? It's like something's going to happen, folks. And it could affect this broadcast. I don't know. I don't know. But they talk about these mother saucers. That's not what I saw. And opening up on the bottom, and then the little mini UFOs come out. And that's what I saw. And I got fairly good footage of it. Fairly good footage. And it's for a while, it's just like a white dot that goes around and then comes back out of frame and back into frame. But then eventually it puts on a little show. And if you have some really close up technology, maybe you can see more than I'm seeing. But it's it divides into four very well lit squares. It's really cool. I swear Thursday or Friday we'll have it up. I promise that. But you never know what it's going to do. You never know. There is other footage out there, and all of a sudden there's a ton of people filming supposed real aliens. In this AI CGI world, you never know. You never know. But what you see from me is the real McCoy. It's not as glorious, but it's the real McCoy. So that sounds interesting, DC Watson. Jack, I hope they can buy you a chai latte, maybe. And one small scone, yes. Oh, dear. Like we have a Price Chopper here, and a baker that's been doing this for a long time, and a good crew that he has with him. And the chocolate croissants there are great. But we have a restaurant downtown called Mr. Croissant. Mr. Croissant. This is high end. It's gonna be like $6 a croissant, but it's gonna be the best croissant you may have ever had. Chocolate, almond, all kinds of things, probably even amaretto, and probably a few with, broccoli or spinach and cheese in them too. And, people I gotta get there, but, I'm trying to be good. I'm trying not to walk into the doctor down at Westchester, my cardiologist, having not lost at least I wanna have lost at least 10 more pounds, you know? So it's time to get out there and walk and what have you. I'm not doing enough exercising. I gotta get out there. Can't do what I used to do, they don't want me to do that. They just want me to walk at a fairly modest pace, not power walk and not do a little jogging like I used to do because I have cardiomyopathy, but I feel like I'm in great shape and I've had no symptoms. Camzyos is an incredible drug for cardiomyopathy. Jack, so yeah, that chai latte, that sounds interesting. So we do have some places here, including Price Chopper, that has great scones. Um, Scotty's when it opens at Soon's Orchard. I think that would probably be in May. They would open up. They haven't like an outdoor stand. It's the strangest thing. They used to have their product right in Soon's, but now they don't work all year long. They only work from like May into November or June, and they do the farmers markets with their product too. Best apple pie you gonna want to taste. Oh, their apple turnovers, which are really uh, mini apple pies, delicious. They have what I call salty chocolate chip cookies. Um, they're phenomenal. They're phenomenal. So I'm, fine. The number was 5 for the PSA, but that's normal for me. And he said there's no enlargement of the prostate. Now I gotta make that call because they don't seem to be calling me. I gotta make the call and see if I'm due for a colonoscopy. I mean, we have a real big problem here in New York, and maybe where you are too. A lot of doctors have walked away. They don't like working for these big groups where they're treated like they're at the Burger King or something, and they say, "Well, if you're going to quit, you got to sign a contract that says you'll give us 4 or 5 years notice." Excuse me. And they push them around. They got like 4 or 5 different locations, and then all of a sudden the doctors have them to go here, there. It's very different from the experience when they were the boss of the office. But by joining a big group, their costs are reduced. Their administrative costs are reduced, tremendously. But a lot of the doctors don't really like it. So we're having somewhat of a crisis here. The emergency room is always full. And that's true in most hospitals, isn't it? 7, 8, 9 hours you wait, and the groups, the appointments can take forever. Everybody's going to PT. The reason everybody's going to PT is because they won't approve the MRI till you do the PT, and even then. So it's I can understand the frustration out there with Aetna and United Healthcare and what have you. I can understand. It should never turn into violence, of course. But I can understand why people uh would get frustrated. It's happening with Karen. The experience me and my husband did was VIP or something like that. The pic of me holding his boot was an archival item that we could hold with gloves. We got more of an exclusive experience, tiny group experience. Okay. Brenda Gaskill is here, one of 3 or 4 Brendas that we have. Uh, and she's talking to Brenda, of course. That would make sense. Neil, she never even called me by my name. Who never called you by their name? I can't follow that fast. Best tour they had at the time, and that was May 2023. Yeah, if you're going to be a Presley for a day, it's going to be very costly. So thank you, Lottie, and hi. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yeah, when you're VIP, it's just like you're going to the George Magazine event, which will be Friday and Saturday. um, the 15th and 16th of August in Hot Springs, Arkansas at the OZK Bank Arena. Go to georgemagazine.com and find out the whole thing. Get your tickets. If you want to be a VIP there, it's going to cost you a little bit. That'll get you a Friday experience where you'll have dinner and there'll be it's like a welcome party. And then Saturday night, there's the closing party with entertainment from someone who was on American Idol and food and what have you. Sunday with Pastor Bob Joyce at the OZK Bank Arena, the 17th at 10 a.m. Central Time. That's free. That's free. There's quite a few seats, so probably you shouldn't have a problem. But anyone who paid for a Friday, Saturday ticket or a Saturday ticket gets to go in before you on Sunday. I've heard about buses coming from Memphis for Sunday, so keep that in mind. Don't get shut out, but I think you'll be okay. But you never know with this story. You never know. You're Jimmy. Okay, now we know. Hi, Jimmy. Jimmy Pogera, right? I'm not sure how to do the Cash App. Well, you go to the App Store and you'll find the Cash App uh, symbol. It's green. Surprise, surprise, surprise. And you simply go through the steps. You load it. It'll take you step by step how to load it. With Cash App, what you do is you take your checking account and you put it all in there, the routing number and all that, and then you can send cash to loved ones. They can send you cash and what have you. And I use it to pay one bill in particular every month. I've never had a problem with Cash App. And when you use Cash App on my end, I get more of it than if you hit the thanks button. Google, YouTube takes a cut, and I am just very happy that they gave me a thanks button. I do get more when you hit Cash App, which is lowercase letters, Media Guy 56, Media Guy 56. But those that hit the thanks button for any amount, it could be 99 cents. And it all helps and it works on the goal that we have now for the third week of May, because these people that, I have responsibilities to, they want it every month. What am I to do? You know? So when you kind of get blindsided and you have an unexpected expense, it changes everything for you. But let's see here. How would they work? How would that work? Either Canada being a state, isn't it a bit large? Well, President Trump could give you a whole lot of reasons about how wonderful it would be. I don't think it's going to happen, but it was real funny today to see your new prime minister. I'm forgetting his second name, David, right? His name is David. And as soon as the tariff thing went into effect today, he was right there on camera saying, "Oh no, we'll drop our tariffs. We'll drop our tariffs if they will drop the new tariffs that Trump is enacting. We'll drop it." Boy, it didn't take him long. Now, what about Xi in China? I don't know. And of course, many other places affected. Um, Trump wants to get rid of that deficit, that $36 trillion deficit, but that's a big chunk of change. And now Elon, someone was talking about this in the promo. He only said that he'd be around for like 90 to 130 days. He's already at 90 and he's not leaving right away. But they're trying to get $1 trillion savings, and then he's going to move on. He's got so many of his own businesses. He was never going to be a full-time guy. So if Vivek had been partners with him, he would have taken over the lead at that point. once Elon stepped aside. But now Elon, of course, is running. I mean, no, Vivek is running for governor of Ohio. So, he's committed to that. Vivek is not a secondary guy. When he didn't get a cabinet position, he thought about, well, what else can I do? What else can I do? Um, so, Sandra, all I can tell you is Trump has it all in his mind, and I'm 98% sure that won't happen. And I think Trump knows that, but he uses tariffs as a way of bringing people to the table to negotiate, because he thinks it's very unfair that someone is running a surplus while we're running a $36 trillion deficit. And they're charging us, in some cases, astronomical tariffs, especially on milk and butter. So do we buy it at that price? I don't think we do then, right? Um, I don't know. It's weird. Thank you, Jimmy. I appreciate that. Yeah, I try to keep things in check. Got to think about the colonoscopy, the heart situation. It seems well under control. Um, my heart function is much better now on Camzyos, although I never really felt it was bad. Never felt it was bad, to be honest with you. With cardiomyopathy, you're not pumping enough blood. Well, the blood is pumping better now. I still have some obstruction, but things are much better now, and I have a defibrillator in my chest slash pacemaker. So if there started to be a problem, that would activate the pacemaker. At that point, if I was going 65 miles on the an hour on the highway, I think I would know something was going on, because the pacemaker is going to go first, and it's going to try to regulate the heartbeat, and I'll be pulled over by then. And then if that doesn't work, it's going to give me a kick that's going to feel like I'm in martial arts class and someone just kicked me in the chest. You know what I mean? And that should do the trick. And if it doesn't, then I think the third thing should be that it plays "Another One Bites the Dust" by Queen. That I think that would be creative myself. And the funny thing about "Another One Bites the Dust" is when you take the CPR class, the instructor will undoubtedly tell you that to get the rhythm going when you're doing the chest compression, it's exactly the beat to "Another One Bites the Dust." Some things you cannot make up. They're just too crazy. They're crazy, crazy for feeling so lonely. Yeah, baby. I got to remember Brad. I covered up the vent. Brad is probably getting up early. He definitely went to bed, so I have to be respectful of that, Georgia Peach. Um, it snowed here in Canada. Thunder. Oh, excuse me, all day. Uh, and now rain. Huh? You've gotten it all. Now you're ready for sunshine and 75, 80 degrees, right? Are you ready? Are you ready? It's just so unpredictable now. I do admit there's somewhat of climate change, but that horse has already left the barn. I feel that horse has already left the barn. Get your hybrid and what have you. But there was a funny, I don't know if you saw it on Facebook, a funny cartoon. It's Trump sitting with Kash Patel, um, and the caption is, and then and then I got the liberals to stop buying electric cars. And a big laugh on Kash Patel's face. Hey, get an electric car. I'm all for it. I wouldn't recommend right now a Tesla, because this is the kind of this is what we get from XYZ and some of the millennials, et cetera, et cetera. Just crazy, just crazy. I understand that some of the things that have been cut are things that need to be restored that should not have been cut. I understand that. Some of the things are so outrageous, there's no way to defend it. There's no way to defend the majority of what Elon found, including giving um, millions of dollars for a woke version of Sesame Street in Iraq. A lot of crazy stuff like that. So good to have you here, Overbuilt Automotive, East Tennessee. See, I don't know my East. When people say East to me, you might as well be telling me, um, Mulberry Street. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know my East from my West, from my North or South. In this city, I do, because I did a little bit of cab driving. Didn't last long, for a while, and I had to know when the West End is, the East End, the North End, and the South End, because sometimes the dispatcher, when there was nothing out there, might say, head over to the East End. We'll be getting something there. We'll be getting something there. Get closer to the mall. We'll get something. That kind of thing. I got my dad off all but one med using the teachings in short and diet change a few things, and bam, you're fixed. Yeah, I don't deny that that's true. I don't deny that that's true. Um, Obviously, if you give up all the things you love, uh, they say moderation, but it really needs to be only occasional cheating, really. If you give up all those things, sure, it will make a difference. I have good blood pressure numbers because I use metoprolol, you know, and eat broccoli. Where have I heard that before? Shelley, I just had some wonderful broccoli the other day over at the Flaming Grill. I did. All by my lonesome because Karen had made supper for Andy. But I figured after the prostate doctor took advantage of me like that, I deserved a nice dinner. And so I went up all by my lonesome and had Flaming Grill, and it was extraordinary. I bought some. For some reason, Karen wanted um, uh, what's the most wonton soup, and I got her some egg rolls, smaller ones at the buffet, different kind of egg roll, really. And I told her this wonton soup is pretty much like brown broth. There's not much to it. And there's not going to, they had 3 big wontons in this vat of soup that I have to pour into a container myself. I couldn't steal all 3. So I took one of the big wontons. And she thought there'd be parsley and stuff. No, there was a good-looking soup there. The hot and sour soup looked real good, but you didn't want that. You had this fetish of wonton soup, and I don't think the fetish is gone yet. I think she's going to try somebody else's wonton soup. Never was a favorite of mine. I didn't mind the egg drop. It was kind of nice. East Tennessee, why I say that, that's where the Smoky Appalachian Mountains are. So you know about the stills, don't you, Overbuilt Automotive? You are in the general area where one of the crews of Moonshiners tapes. Have you met any of the Moonshiners? Let me see. Tennessee, is that Mark and Digger? Cock County? I think that's what it's called, Cock County. Trying to remember now. I've only been watching Moonshiners for 11, 12 years. And now Mark and Digger have recorded an album with some really fun songs on there, and that's going to be available soon on CD. I love Moonshiners, even though I still to this date have never had a ship. I've never had a ship of moonshine. And I've never had a sip of moonshine either. I thought, well, hazelnut moonshine, that's the Sugarland distillery that Mark and Digger have some legal moonshine in, their recipes. They don't make it. The distillery makes it, but it's Mark and Digger's recipe. And they'll be taping again soon. They'll be taping probably, they start May, June. They start taping the next season, assuming there is a 15th season of Moonshiners, and people seem to love it. So I think there will be. I think there's somebody at Discovery that says, I'm never going to cancel this show. I like it myself. I'm not going to cancel it. So it goes on year after year. Usually do about 17 episodes too. They don't wuss out. They do They didn't do it during COVID. They cut back to 8 or 9, but, um, it's a great show. I tune in just, because I love the cast. Eat blueberry oh, now we're gonna get heavy here. Eat blueberries, olive oil, can't disagree with any of that. No seed oils, right? No, hydrogenated oil, not a lot. We you do eat or east the burgers, eggs, bacon, cheese. Now we're getting into the Atkins diet here, right? Um, cheesecake, it's just no boxed foods, mostly, or non-natural peanut butter. Uh, no, because that's got the hydrogenated oil in it. Well, what you're saying makes complete sense. I've heard about the benefits of olive oil, and I wonder about these 6 mushrooms that are in this Rise coffee, mushroom coffee. Um, it's not in the stores, obviously, and I'd be reluctant to even order it. Well, it's not cheap. It's like $27 for a starter pack or whatever, and, rumors are they're just running out, so you could be on a back order, you know? Yes, I drank, popcorn Sutton moonshine. You did? In my wild days, no more of the mess. Now, it's funny you mentioned Popcorn Sutton, who, of course, passed away a number of years ago. They show him dancing around sometimes on, Moonshiners. But one of the, people that, one of my critics I nicknamed who used to go to Household of Faith, I don't think he went back, I don't know. I called him Popcorn Sutton. Um, but, yeah, I know they shoot moonshiners in, 3 or 4 different states, um, Kentucky, Tennessee, um, Georgia, maybe, and, see, I don't like too strong of a liquor. Now with cardiomyopathy, I have to limit my, alcohol intake. So a treat for me would be a frozen strawberry margarita with a salt rim. I can't resist the salt rim. And, uh, frozen daiquiri or regular daiquiri, regular margarita, yeah. Um, a vodka sour, that's another go-to drink for me. I like that. Not a whiskey drinker. Not definitely not a beer drinker. Don't like it. Like I don't like coffee. I don't like beer. And cider, hard cider tastes like beer, kind of. So, you know, not really into that. But Tom Collins, old person's drink that none of the kids know how to make, and they'll ruin it. Trust me, they'll ruin it. If the bartender's not at least 60, don't order a Tom Collins. Don't order a slow gin fizz. They won't know how to do it. When they start going for the book, that's time for you to say, oh, forget it. I'll just get something else. Barbara Kendall knows about that. Teresa Lee Leonard saying, good night, Bren Bren. Good night, Bren Bren. Yes, wonton soup is yum and kind of healthy. It's a light soup, I suppose. It tastes to me like it's practically, uh, it's like, uh, it's like a nothing soup, you know. I'd rather have the egg drop, but I know. And then a good hot and sour soup. They make one at the Goshen Chinese Kitchen that's phenomenal. Phenomenal. Haven't had that in a dog's age. Be well, Brenda. If you're really leaving, be well. Good day. Good day. Thank you for stopping. That's Git, Georgia Peach. And it comes from the Jimmy Fallon. I don't watch him a lot, but Karen watches the first half hour. And he has this bit where he puts on the cowboy hat and puts that, what would you call it? Piece of long extended piece of grass or whatever. I can't think of the name right now. He puts that in his teeth, and he said he has a routine where he says he goes through something that's just totally unnecessary in life, and then he concludes it with "Go on, go on, get." So that's where that comes from. It's Jimmy Fallon. I got to give him credit for that. He's a great impersonator, Jimmy Fallon. He can do great Neil Young, Jim Morrison, et cetera, et cetera. Talk show interviewer, the worst they ever had, I think. Can't do serious interviews. Has to play these silly games all the time when he has a fascinating person. Sometimes he could be doing a hard hitting interview. Doesn't like Leno could have a serious topic on and do it. He's not. He doesn't. So I don't watch any of the late night guys. I am kind of happy that Craig Ferguson is coming back with. He's amusing to me. He's coming back until late night with a show that probably is pre-recorded because he doesn't want to work 5 nights a week anymore. Where they review other TV shows, him in a panel or something like that. I'd rather have him do what he used to do because he's really good at it, Craig Ferguson. It's lightweight, but it's still good. Viva Elvis, Jack. Enjoyed it. Everyone have a good evening. Thank you, DC Watson, for joining us. Electricity may go out soon. Be safe. We'll pray for you. Under tornado watch and storms rolling through. Oh, man. Oh, man. So keep DC Watson and all our Oklahoma people. That includes Jill and who else is in Oklahoma or another state where there is a tornado. Keep them in prayer. Thank you. Jack, every time I think of Go On Git, I crack up laughing. I love it. There's sometimes it's just so appropriate. I don't have anything at the moment. Well, I could do an obvious one. Jasmine Crockett, you're no more fit to be United States Congresswoman than Andrew Dice Clay. Go on, Git. Go on, Git. Please don't reelect that woman, Houston, Texas. Come on now. This is freaking Houston, Texas we're talking about here. How could you be so fooled? And who has invaded Houston, Texas? Are you kidding me? Texas? And to make those comments she did about the governor, he's got more character in his little nail on his pinky than she'll ever have in her whole life. Oh, it's so sad. So sad. Come on, let's get rid of certain people, the squad people at the top of the list. But Jasmine is not really in the squad. She's trying to make a name for herself, and she's doing a fake voice. She's actually better spoken than that. And the filth that comes out of her mouth all the time. She knows nothing about nothing, and she's a United States Congresswoman. Give me a break. 7 active tornadoes right now, says Overbuilt Automotive. Wow. See, we don't get much of that here in New York, so I'm going to have to check out. You can go to Tubi and you can find the local weather forecasters, or you can go to, I know there's that guy on YouTube. What the heck is his name? Somebody help me out. And then there is, of course, Fox Weather. And there's the Weather Channel, which is another thing. I think it's on Hulu. We don't get Hulu. I'm not going to get Hulu again. I want nothing to do with Disney product. I want nothing to do with Disney. I'm never going to go into a Target again. And there's another one that I've added to my list. I'm never going to see a Tom Hanks movie again. I'm never going to watch Tom Hanks again. See, it's the same. It's the very reason that helped Trump get over the finish line. He was going to win anyway, but when Joseph R. Biden called the MAGA people garbage, what's his name? Who was in 51st States? Rob Snyder does a wonderful bit on this, and I got to clean it up. But he talks about that line about garbage. He said, even the Amish said, we've never voted before, but we're going to vote now. Get the buggy ready. We're going to vote this time. We're going. And he does the horse sound and everything like that. And absolutely right. Joe Biden lit a fire under MAGA people that might have stayed home. And man, we would have crawled over glass. And it's going to happen again in the midterms too, by the way, because we're not going to say, oh, the midterms aren't that important. We know they're important. We're going to go again. So, yeah, absolutely. You sound like me, Jack. Why do you say that, Katina? Because that would make me wonder that question. Uh, if you're talking about Jasmine, I'm sure we're kin spirits there. She is. I just can't believe. You know who else is the male version? Well, not the male version of her because he's much more well spoken, but his opinions are just as lethal. Christopher Murphy. Christopher Murphy. Everything that guy believes, I believe the opposite. Q streaming. Christian owned is great. We share if you get all channels, yeah, live in all states and on demand. PPV, all the HBOs, 5,000 channel or more, one price. 5 people can watch at the same time. Q streaming. Huh. So it's Christian owned, but they put on stuff. Yeah, if you're putting on HBO and stuff, you're putting on stuff you wouldn't agree with. Um, because we all know that there'll be provocative programming on there. It's interesting. I'll write that down. It's funny because I got Paramount Plus / Showtime. Paramount Plus bought Showtime if they didn't own it already, and I bought that to see the Dexter New Blood, the prequel, which had 10 episodes, and it was good. I like the guy playing Dexter. I certainly love Christian Slater. Um, it didn't have the magic of Dexter of Michael C. Hall. He was the voiceover. He did the narration. But Dexter Resurrection, which comes out in July, I'm going to have to get it again. So I figure, well, I'll save a few months of $13.95 and cancel after we saw all 10 episodes of Dexter New Blood. I can't say that there was one of the 10 that I really wanted to see again, whereas I've seen the regular Dexters I've seen 3, 4, 5 times with Michael C. Hall. The girl playing Deb was, it was potty mouth exhilarated, not exhilarated, but what's the word? uh, you know, uh, it just it just it just makes you wish you could have a service where you would cut her rap out. Not saying anything against her. She didn't do a good job. She was doing what was on the script, and I know Deb has a potty mouth and the regular Dexter, but it was just too much, and you start to feel like, oh, this is no good. It's just not helping the show, but it's probably an accurate portrayal of a lot of XYZs and the way they talk, just like in other circles, people talk like that. Huh. Flo, hey, it's been a while. That's what I thought, Flo. Hi, Jack. Nice to have you back, Flo. I quit buying Coke or Coca-Cola, too. They went woke. Coke went woke. I didn't hear that, but I know there are those products. I've always been a Pepsi Zero Sugar guy. I like that. I didn't like the new Diet Coke. The regular Diet Coke I like, but I'm just fine with Pepsi Zero. But there was this nutritionist doctor on YouTube, and he referred to all soda as liquid death, and that stuck with me. I drink less of it now, less of it. Have a little Gatorade from time to time, and of course, drink the water. Okay. 5 people can watch at one time, something different, you're saying, huh? But I mean, really, what are the prices? I mean, obviously, the more you add on, it's still going to be a higher price, right? I used to be a storm spotter with Skywarm, says Christari, for the National Weather Center in Norman a bit over 20 years ago with my ex. I think that's EX, but X does just fine. Even a ham radio operator as well. And then she writes the call letters. Art Bell was a big ham operator guy when he wasn't speaking to millions on regular broadcast radio. Here's Semi. Ask Elvis and Pastor Bob. They love Dr. Pepper Zero. Well, I know that I've seen Pastor Bob with a diet Dr. Pepper can in front of him in the social hall in the hall there, which is a separate building from where the church is now. And the new headquarters, I assume it'll all be together. Others say, like, if you look it up, they'll say Pepsi was his drink. So I don't know. Elvis, we're talking about. Katina, I barely drink it. Chris likes it. Yeah, it's definitely. I mean, there's just something in there will quench your thirst in the soda sometimes that you just you yearn for the seltzer, and regular seltzer I don't like at all. You yearn for that if you're thirsty. Um, so I try to drink less of it. I give mom the PW, so I share it. I think you're saying rarely ever turn it on. Dad uses it. I'll look into it. Right now, we have Spectrum just for the internet. We have Spectrum just for the internet, and then we have Sling, and of course, since we are definitely definitely Amazon Prime customers here, they know our house, Karen. Um, we have Prime Video, and we have, of course, Tubi, and we have through Sling, we have Pluto TV, a lot of stuff on there. But I can't believe that we don't have access easily to a business channel, But I can buy Fox Business. That's weird that I have to buy it, and yet I don't have access to CNBC, which I would have liked to have watched today. The stocks have been going down, ladies and gentlemen. It's just a hold on and don't panic time. They are very emotional, these stock people. And when something like, tariffs have been implemented, I mean, I'll go there right now. I'll go there right now to Robinhood. And oh my God. Oh, it's a sea of red, ladies and gentlemen. Sea of red. Ford is making a little money. Yeah, because Tesla's way down. But Tesla is now $266 a share. It used to be a lot more. Apple is down to 210. Netflix high still, but down. $915 a share for Netflix. Meta, that's Facebook, $563 a share. Disney used to be $300 plus, $300 plus, not anymore. When you go woke, you eventually go broke, like you're going broke with your crappy Sleeping Beauty, Disney. $95 a share now, $95 a share. Starbucks is even down, but it's all because of this nervous jitters about all the few stocks I have. Some of them are penny stocks. I don't want you to think I'm a high roller here. I'm almost not in it kind of thing, but I've had them for a while. And, I tried to keep the DJT stock, but there's just, when half of the country hates you, it's going to affect your stock price. So I held on to Donald Trump's stock, but, it just seemed like it was not going to go anywhere. Truth Social, So I'm really hoping about this Game Square stock, which is a penny stock. I'm really hopeful for that for the future. So that's a look at that. Things are not good on the stock market right now. Sammy, thank you so much for $2.79 on the thanks button. Dr. Pepper Zero, Elvis loves it. All right, I believe you. I believe you. I'm not saying he doesn't. And I guess Pastor Bob Joyce likes it too. Good night, everyone. Sweet dreams. Thank you, Katina, for stopping by. Thank you so much. And same here. Get rid of the other stuff. Well, I certainly don't want anything to do with Hulu because that's Disney, and I'm off the Disney list right now. And they charge more than ever to get into these parks too. Hey, we love taking the kids there, but that's when they had responsible management, and they don't anymore, in my opinion. So I don't want to do that. Never go into a Target again because they targeted kids with their woke crap. And you got to know, you got to know. And what about this mooch? What about the mooch? Scaramucci. Just saw. I'm shaking here. There's a whole lot of shaking going on. Maybe I'm having a tornado and don't know it. Um, 1 minute he's doing like a mea culpa, do they call it, where he's saying, "Well, I do agree with President Trump on a few things," and you think, "Oh, he's going to fall on his sword." He realizes that the land of Trump haters is not going to do anything for him. He's changed his opinion so many times. Then I see a little short video that he did just before I started setting up for tonight. I saw he did a little short video where he seems to be inferring that Trump is a dictator, and the last time this happened was back then in the 30s or whatever, and you got to fight that. I mean, Trump, yes, he's make America great again. He's not America only. He's make America first. We can't be in a position of strength if we're not first, you know? Um, so all I can say is, Anthony Scaramucci, you've shot yourself in the foot. Don't keep doing it. You seem like a fairly nice guy, but you put yourself in a terrible position, just like Chris Christie. And now what do you do? What do you do? Chris Christie used to be a loyal person to Donald Trump. Then he thought he could run against him, like he would really have chance being president. He wasn't a great governor, wasn't a popular governor. You know, so these people that do this to themselves are now, they're like wandering in the desert, and they can't find the Poland Spring. They can't find it. Hmm. Well, Sandra, it's a complicated question about why would they call him a dictator. I think you retracted that. Um, they don't like what he does. They want all those fatty programs that waste money, and they want your daughter to be invaded in their locker room by a hairy man. They want your teenage daughter to be hurt by in a game of volleyball by someone who's really a man. And there's that one girl that has permanent damage now because that volleyball came at her the speed of light. So they're not for women's rights. They're for taking women's rights away. The woke agenda. It's so crazy and it's not thought out. And when you hear them try to explain it, whether it be Johnny from Jesse Waters or whatever, they can't explain it. They're just not very bright. They're not very bright. College students that can't tell you who the first president of the United States was. That kind of says a lot, right? That kind of says a lot. Bernice Gordon, good night. Wonderful talk. Show. Yeah, that's what I guess I am now. I used to play the music. I loved it. Thank you very much, Bernice. Please come back. We'll be here with the next Worldwide Ramblings Sunday night at 9 p.m. East Coast time, US of A, 9 p.m. East Coast time. Make sure you subscribe, like, and hit the notification bell. This way you'll know if we pop on impromptu or release a new pre-recorded video. Thank you. All right. And thank you again, Sammy, for hitting the thanks button. And Chi, I know, hit the thanks button, as did Lottie. Are you still here, Lottie? Here's Lottie, $10 and $10 from Chi-Chi. Any amount is fine. 99 cents is okay. As certain people, Sam does it sometimes, and Jody Smith, what have you, to encourage others, and that's very much appreciated. So let me go to my email here. Um, Angel707 sent me something that I think is a separate pre-recorded video. It talks about a new Elvis book. So I'll do something on that. Um, oh, shoot. I just remembered something I have to activate. My goodness. They send me something. Chase sends me a new card because my other one was getting worn down and I haven't activated the new one. Okay, tomorrow we've got to do that before we go to any washy laundry, etc., etc. Geez, you forget something like that? What's wrong with me? I'm sick in the head. Um, Now I'm getting so many that I'm not going to have all those. Teresa Panel hit the thanks button, as did David Tanner, Martial Arts, Daniel Sandler, Christina did sent us Cash App donation. This is from the month of March I'm talking about, and the only Todd Bradshaw. Please be safe down there. I hope you're doing okay, Todd Bradshaw in Tennessee. I'm going to be checking with you tomorrow to see if everything's okay, and I'll pray for you tonight because you could be in the path. So thank you for that. I really appreciate it. If I miss a thank you in one stream, the next time we're live, I mention it there. For the replay audience. So let me see here. There's Chantal. Hi. Good night, Jakes. Yes, I'm Jake's Tapser. Jake Tapser. That's me. And Sandra, yeah. Gonna read something from the Word of God, from the book of Psalms. I think I would do better. I got to get better glasses here. I think I would do better without glasses. This is bigger print, but not as big as I'd like it. Psalm 84, how lovely is your tabernacle, O Lord of hosts. My soul longs, yes, even faints, for the courts of the Lord. My heart and my flesh cry out to the living God. Even the sparrow has found a home, and the swallow a nest for herself, where she may lay her youngins. Even your altars, O Lord of hosts, my King and my God. Blessed are those who dwell in your house. They will be praising you. Blessed is the man whose strength is in you, whose heart is set on pilgrimage as they pass through the valley of Baca. They make it a spring. The rain also covers it with pools. They go from strength to strength. Each one appears before God. Each one appears before God is Zion. O Lord God of hosts, hear my prayer. Give ear, O Lord of Jacob. O God, behold our shield. look upon your face. Look upon the face of your anointed from Psalm 84. All right. Very, very good. Very good. So the next Worldwide Rambling Sunday. Hi, JCat. How are you? Sorry you're coming in late. Thank you very much, Lottie, for hitting the thanks button. Teresa Lee Leonard, thanks for being here. Angelo, make yourself great again. J.O. Free Card, ouch. Make himself great again. J.O. Free Card, ouch. Sam Semi, I have 5 days of rain. I've just had 5 days of rain. Anyone else? Oh dear, that is a lot of rain, which means things are flooding. Things are flooding. Yeah. So we'll be back Sunday night, 9 p.m. East Coast time for the next Worldwide Ramblings, not on Saturday night this week or the fourth week of the month, but 9 o'clock Sunday night for the next edition of Worldwide Ramblings. But have your, first subscribe, like, and hit the notification bell. Let's get to 10,000. I'd love to get to 10,000. And this way, if we put something new up, a new video, or we come on live with impromptu, you will know about it if you're near your device. Thank you, Georgia Peach, at the last minute there for hitting the thanks button for $10. I really appreciate that, Georgia Peach. You're kind of new to us, and you're doing that on a fairly regular basis. I always love it when it's new people, and thank you very, very much. By you, Jackie Oregon, and Georgia, again, thank you so much. And everybody else here, Teresa, Shelley in Canada, our 51st state, and Semi and Chantel and Jackie Oregon. And, I'm going to leave people out, Angelo and Chris Starry. Everybody continue to pray for Chris Starry as she's dealing with cancer. Pray for Christari. Say a prayer before you go to sleep tonight. And we had Katina here early. Overbuilt Automotive. And Tessie. Sam Semi. Yeah. A whole bunch of people. If I didn't call you, I'm sorry. But it's only a matter of time, and we will. Thanks for watching Worldwide Ramblings Wednesday. Watch the replay. Don't forget to watch that video, Shocking New Elvis Info. It'll help you understand what we're talking about in the beginning of this show concerning Lisa Marie Presley and a country known as France. And her book, of course, is From Here to the Great Unknown. Pick up a copy, Lisa Marie Presley and her daughter, actress, Graceland owner, Riley Keough. Bye-bye for now.